Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. I know, a little bit different setup today. Actually, my husband and I are going to be working on the room upstairs to finally have a better filming setup. I'm very excited, but this is kind of the transition because it's thundering outside. Anyway, not the point. Today's going to be another fragrance first impressions video, and it's going to be on my cats fighting underneath me. No, it's on a Lolita Lempicka. This is L'eau Jolie, and it's eau de toilette. I have smelled this before. I smelled it on a strip when I got the sample, but I haven't tried it yet. So we're going to do the first impressions, so let's go. Alright guys, first impressions of Lolita Lempicka L'eau Jolie is what you guys asked for on my Instagram. Posted a photo. I asked which one of the fragrances you guys wanted me to try, and it was almost universal. I think only one of you guys wanted me to try one of the other fragrances. You wanted me to do a first impressions on this fragrance. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how my fragrance first impressions videos go, and let me remind you, I will always remind you in the beginning of these videos. I start off with a fragrance that I have either never experienced ever or it has never touched my skin. I spritz it on my skin, give it 15-20 seconds to kind of just settle on my skin, and then I'll give you my first impressions of the opening. Then I'll let it dry down on my skin. Depending on the fragrance, it can be 15 to 20 minutes, it could be longer. We'll come back and I will give you my first impressions of the dry down. This is a kitty, this Pancakes. Since I know that all fragrances need more time than just a day to give you guys a mini review regarding a projection and performance, I'm gonna wear this throughout the week, and then at the end of next week's fragrance first impression video, I'm going to give you guys a mini review. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna have a mini review of last week's fragrance, which is from L'Artisan Parfumeur, and it was a Bucoliques de Provence. So let's get into the review. The reasons why, guys, I don't film in here very often is because of my cats. So they will be making very frequent cameos in my video. This is Pancakes. He's the most mischievous out of the bunch. He will probably be knocking things off of my vanity. It just happens. I've learned to live with it. So anyway, let's get into this fragrance right here. This is Lolita Lempicka L'eau Jolie. This is an eau de toilette formulation, and the top notes are black, currant, and pear. The middle notes, or the heart notes, are neroli and peach blossom, and the base notes are musk and cedar. So I have actually smelled this on somebody else a long time ago, probably like a year or two ago. And when I got the sample, I did spritz it on a strip, so I do kind of have an idea how it smells, and I was kind of interested to see how this was going to play on my skin. So let's go. There we go. The spritzer on this is kind of dinky. Alright, I'm going to give this just a second to settle on my skin. I'll be right back. It's been about, let's say, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Now, if you guys don't know, I love the original Lolita Lempicka. I can't wear Angel. I love Angel. I love experiencing Angel in the wild. I wish Angel worked on my skin. It's just, there's something about it that just doesn't work on my skin. I keep buying bottles. They keep not working. I keep giving them away. I give myself like 2 or 3 years. I come back. I don't know why I keep trying. I really love that fragrance so much. So when I found Lolita Lempicka, I was so excited because it kind of reminded me of the same Angel feel, that kind of like really syrupy, sweet, powdery gourmand that I really love and enjoy, that people either love or run for the hills away from because they just can't stand it. So I've been a fan of Lolita Lempicka fragrances. I do generally, and pretty much everyone I've tried, I've at least enjoyed in one way or another. But this one kind of like had me, I was a little bit unsure. When I smelled it on the strip, it smelled a little bit unremarkable. It didn't smell at all what I expected from this line of fragrances. And when I was reading the reviews were very mixed. They were either neutral or negative, but the people that really liked this fragrance really loved it. So I was really interested to try it, being a fan of this line. So, see how the opening is? Okay. I'm immediately getting musk, which is kind of like making it a little bit aquatic. I'm getting neroli, and I'm getting tiny touch of pear. I think the pear and the musk is kind of giving this an aquatic feel. kind of like the sweetness, but you know how pear has that really unique sweetness to it? Like you definitely know it's pear. Mixed with other things, it can kind of come off like one way or another. To me, it can come off more bubblegum if it's mixed with almond. It can come off aquatic when it's mixed with like woodsy or musky notes, and that's kind of like what it's doing here. It's smelling a touch synthetic, just a tad. I'm not a huge fan of this opening. I'm kind of hoping the Neroli is going to come out because I love Neroli. It's one of my favorite notes. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I'm going to give it, I think this fragrance actually won't need a long time to dry down. I think this is the type of fragrance where it probably will need like 10 minutes to dry down. So I'm going to come back in like 10 minutes and I will let you guys know what I think. Okay, I'm back. The pancakes. He was eating things he shouldn't have, so I brought him in here. He's just gonna jump off my lap. There we go. Okay, hi. Okay, a little comfy. All right. So, it's been a little bit. It's dry down. I actually asked my husband's opinion on this fragrance, and I actually asked him pretty much as soon as I sprayed this. I went over there and asked. He says it reminds him of a soap that his mom used to use, but in like a pleasant way. He didn't dislike it. It's very clean smelling right now. So let me tell you about the dry down. The opening, I wasn't a huge fan of. To me, it smelled a little bit disjointed. It smelled a little bit synthetic. You were really only getting like the pear and the musk, but I was really waiting for the Neroli. Now when the Neroli came out, it kind of rounded everything out. Kind of toned down that like kind of false synthetic aquatic feel that the pear and the musk were doing. There's a little bit of cedar in the background too, which is really nice, but I think overall, this is a nice fragrance. I can see why people like are iffy about it and maybe don't like it because this is something that I don't think has a lot of wow factor. I mean, the thing is like with fragrances from Lolita Lempicka, a lot of times people are just really wowed by them. They're very bold, they're very super sweet, super syrupy, super powdery. There's something about them that just immediately clicks with people who like those types of fragrances, and the price point is pretty good. So I think with this one, a lot gentler. I think L'eau Jolie is the perfect name for this, and I do definitely think that it fits that name very well. Now when it comes down to wearing this fragrance, I do like it a lot more in the dry down than I do in the opening. I definitely think that I can see, again, like I said previously, I can see where people like didn't like it or were unimpressed by it. But I think for kind of like a very clean, sort of fresh, slightly sweet scent, this is very, very successful. And I think that you have to take it as a very clean, fresh, semi-sweet scent and not associate it at all with other fragrances that are very popular from Lolita Lempicka. So if I'm going to disassociate it from that house and the other fragrances, I think this is a great fragrance, and I think the price point of this is pretty good as well. So I am liking it. We will see how it wears, we will see how it projects, and we'll see how it develops on my skin over time. So next week will definitely be a fun review and let you guys know what I think about this. But so far, the opening, not impressed at all. The dry down, really like it. So now let's get into last week's fragrance, which was Bucoliques de Provence from L'Artisan Parfumeur. You guys, you know when I tried that one, I was so excited. I was excited for the lavender, most importantly. It's hard to find a really good lavender fragrance that kind of, to me, works very well. There was something like spiced and warm and really sexy about that fragrance when I tried it, and I loved it, and my opinion has not changed. That is definitely a wonderful fragrance. I will definitely, hopefully, be adding to my collection very soon. It is absolutely beautiful. Pretty much stayed the same, so it was pretty linear, you know, it just kind of goes really strong in the beginning, and then it developed a little bit at the dry down, then it kind of stayed the same, but you never really lost the lavender, which is something I was really, really excited for. Overall, I'd say that the fragrance performed very well. I got about 6 to 8 hours of wear on my skin. If you know my environment, sometimes it might not seem like a long period of time, but I do kind of live in the tropics. It's always raining or very hot or very humid, so it's not really the best environment for fragrances to last as long as they possibly can. And the projection or sillage of this was very nice as well. It was just past arm's length. I do think this is more of an appropriate daytime fragrance. It did seem a little bit fresher and lighter the longer I wore it. After about an hour or two, it kind of became somewhat sheer and effervescent, but still spiced and warm, and there was just something really, really sexy about it that I really enjoyed. The lavender in it the entire time, to me, just kind of reminded me of like a fresh day, you know, like maybe a hot day, maybe a slightly cool day, but it seemed to be leaning more towards a daytime fragrance than an evening fragrance. Now, you guys know fragrances are subjective. You could wear it whenever, wherever you wanted, but I think that if you're looking for something for the evening to really make an impact, maybe not this one. But I do think this is a fantastic daytime fragrance. I do think it probably would be work appropriate, professional, situation appropriate, so class, theater, work. I do think this would be very good in those situations. So I do really love it, and I would love to pick up a bottle of it very soon, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, so I forgot to film my outro when I originally filmed, so I'm filming it now. Hi! As usual, guys, if you like my videos, remember to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this, and also don't forget to subscribe, because it's free, and I'm free, and I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well, so always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever. I'll see you next time. Bye. Also, there's a cat licking my knee.